Good midday, and welcome back to Bald Father Bets. We'll give you a quick recap of NFL Christmas Day and then lay out the two plays for today in the NFL. We have given you none of the plays yet on NFL Sunday. That's because we have not locked anything in. We'll be back at you again tomorrow with the video to give a pick for every one of those games. As we get a little bit later into the season, like Week 17, Week 18, I get a little cautious about who's playing and who's not playing. For example, the Max Crosby situation that happened, and then the Andrew Thomas situation in a game where those two teams are actually playing each other. And Max Crosby and Andrew Thomas would have lined up from each other. So it ends up being a wash, but I kind of like to have all that information before making a pick, even understanding that there's going to be line movement based off of that. But first, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so you know when we post. And then just interact with the content. Anything you can do to help us grow, we really appreciate it. Never charge for these picks. Just want to grow the channel. Like the videos, comment on them, share them around. Really appreciate you guys. Okay, so NFL Christmas Day, Thursday, we were 6-3. Had 3 3-unit plays. Won 2 of them, lost 1. Started out with the Commanders, where we got a bit of a backdoor cover. Well, kind of. Cowboys went up 21-3. Commanders stormed back. Commanders got us into a cover range, then Dallas kicked a field goal, took us out of a cover range, and then Commanders kicked a field goal, put us back in. Nice job by the Commanders offense, and that was kind of what we expected, was some exploitation of Dallas's defense with the weapons that they have, even with Josh Johnson at quarterback. That did play out well, and then the Commanders defense being terrible. So Dallas able to exploit some of that, but also taking their foot off the gas after they took a large lead there. So 3-0 in units in the opening window. Then we had the Lions minus 6.5, and obviously that didn't hit because they lost outright. Was right about Mr. Brosman and the Vikings offense. The Vikings won that game with 3 passing yards. I don't know if I've ever lost a bet before where the opposing team had 3 passing yards. However, the Lions had 6 turnovers. The first 13 points by the Vikings, when it was 13-7, were all off of Lions turnovers. The big one giving them the touchdown where they had the fumble on the 3rd and 1 in their own red zone. And Vikings capitalized to get a touchdown. And then once it was 13-10, I think, the Vikings had 0 offense whatsoever, and O'Connell pulled out a reverse play call, had the entire offense move to one side of the field. Jordan Addison came around to the other side of the field, and it was wide open for a touchdown, and that was the game breaker, and that was ultimately what did it in for the Lions. Never lost a game where the opposing team had 3 passing yards. In the NFL. I've probably lost a game in college on an academy game that was like that, but anyway. And also, though, I don't think I've ever won a game where a team had 6 turnovers, so a little bit of a... So that was 3-3, and then we went into the evening window where we had the Chiefs plus 14, and that one was never really in doubt. Broncos remind me a lot of the 2022, 2023, those 2 years, that ish range with the Chiefs, where it was like they kept winning all these games, but they couldn't cover a number to save their life. Broncos are not good at covering numbers this season, especially as a favorite. As a dog, they've been a little bit better, but as a favorite, because they tend to be winning outright as dogs. But yeah, that was that one was never really in doubt. Expected a up effort from the Chiefs, knowing that was probably Travis Kelce's last home game. They didn't really get him the ball that much, but they played inspired, and they gave the Broncos their best effort. 6-3 on NFL Christmas Sunday, starting out the week positive, needing a positive week this week after having 2 losing weeks in a row. Okay, so NFL Saturday today, we have 2 games. We have the Texans and the Chargers, and we have the Ravens and the Packers. Texans at Chargers, Ravens at Packers. Injuries in the first game are kind of what they've been throughout the season. Chargers having essentially no offensive line, pretty healthy-ish elsewhere. And then in the second game, we have a backup quarterback game. 100% for sure with the Packers. It's a backup quarterback game with Malik Willis, who also suffered a shoulder injury on the final play in regulation of the Packers and the Ravens. However, obviously he was able to continue to play, and so he'll be starting tonight. And then Most likely a Snoop Huntley game for the Ravens, not 100% confirmed yet. That's why you're actually seeing some line variation book to book. But Lamar Jackson was listed as doubtful, and he did not practice all week. So Chargers and Texans. Line is anywhere between 1.5 and 2 right now. I did see some ones late last night. However, anytime it hit 1, there was sharp play immediately and then would bounce back to 1.5. Sharps aren't really letting this thing get to Chargers -1 because then it's essentially a pick, except with a tie for if the Chargers were to win by 1. There's a lot of things that stand out defensively for both of these teams. Chargers essentially elite on the back end. No fly zone. I mean, very much a Jesse Minter Jesse Minter defense at this point. Another one who's up for coordinator of the year in the NFL. Should be a head coach next year. We'll see what happens. Derwin James, probably the smartest safety at diagnosing plays currently in the NFL. That's probably fair. And just has everyone together on that back end. That's important against a Houston Texans team, which especially on play action situations and then third and medium situations relies a lot on CJ Stroud making throws with his wide receivers and his tight ends that are option-based routes. It's similar to essentially what, so many of these offenses stem from the McVay-Shanahan combo tree, and this one's no different. And then on the defensive side for the Texans, just absolute elite pass rush. Elite front seven going up against what you guys have known, we've talked about all season, as a very injured Chargers offensive line. Game read is very, very close in this one. That's why the line is so close. You could make an analysis and you could say the right side is either one of these, and I wouldn't say that there's any way. Both sides are right in this one. So if you feel confident in either one of these sides, you should roll with that. There's very few times I say that to you guys. This is one of them. We like the Texans here mainly because we like that pass rush against the Chargers offensive line. And I think the Texans have a bit more ability to establish a little bit on the ground. And I'm expecting the Texans defense to force a turnover, maybe or two. I don't know if the Chargers will get that potentially, but that pass rush going up against those tackles for the Chargers, Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter are going to eat today, and so we like the Texans. Texans +2. We're going to do that one for 5 units. Okay, then we are onto the evening game. This one, wish we'd gotten earlier. Line got all the way up to 5.5. Some books on Ravens +5.5 when it was looking more like Jordan Love was going to play and Lamar Jackson was going to be out. Pre-look ahead line was Packers at 2.5, and now I'm seeing everything ranging from Packers 2.5 all the way up to Packers -4. Again, the line variation that you're seeing is mainly due to people hedging on whether Lamar is going to play or not. So if people are at Packers -4, then they're fairly certain, 100% confident that you're not going to get a Lamar Jackson last minute, okay, he's good to go. If you're seeing places that are at Packers -2.5, they're still concerned that they're going to get Lamar good to go, and they're over leveraged right now on the Ravens. They probably took a lot of Ravens money when the line was up at 5.5, 4.5, some books. We like the Ravens here. We would have liked the Ravens really no matter what the QB combo was between the teams. It just then depends on where you got the line at. So obviously we'd have preferred to have gotten it at 5.5, but we did not jump on that. But with a Snoop Huntley versus Malik Willis, or with even the opportunity that potentially we're going to get Lamar, very, very slim chance, we like the Ravens in this spot. Packers also no longer need this game since the Lions lost to the Vikings, and I think that played a lot into the decision of ruling out Jordan Love even the day before, playing a little bit safer with some of these guys. The Packers have been pretty hurt by injury this year. Tucker Kraft, Micah Parsons, the Christian Watson, in and out of the lineup. And I don't think they necessarily want to take too many chances here. Yes, they technically have a chance to win the division still, but I think it'd be a little bit different if it was playing for their playoff lives versus the opportunity to win the division. So we're on the Ravens plus the 4. We're doing that one for 8 units. Probably one of my favorite plays of the week. Ravens minus 2 against the Patriots was for 10 units last week, and that was my favorite play of the week. And obviously, they blew that in the fourth quarter. So it doesn't mean the Ravens won't let us down, but really like that one. Okay, appreciate you guys. Thank you. Again, make sure you're interacting with the content. Subscribe to the channel. Notifications on. We will be back at you again tomorrow. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy this time in between Christmas and New Year's where no one knows what day it is. And we'll be back at you again for NFL Sunday tomorrow. Thank you.